we're going to create the silhouette of the trees and the deer. First, let's open our Layers panel. We can go to Window, Layers, lock the background and create a new layer which we'll name Silhouettes. We're going to make 3 different trees. The first tree is a vector image based on a drawing. I'm going to show you how to do it step by step. We'll start by opening our drawing in Photoshop. With the rectangle tool, we'll crop the image so we just have the top part of the tree. What we want to achieve is a very contrasted image to then take to Illustrator and use the image trace to make a perfect silhouette of the tree. Let's duplicate the layer, then we'll go to Image, Adjustments, Desaturate. We'll press Command L to see the Levels window, or we can go to Adjustments, Levels. Here we'll move this black handle to the right and the white one to the left. We'll also move the grey one to the right. Using the paintbrush tool, we'll fill in these white gaps. Press Command A to select everything, then copy the image. Let's go back to our document in Illustrator and paste. Let's make the image smaller. And clicking here on Image Trace, we'll select Silhouettes. Expand Appearance, and there we have our silhouette. Let's make a trunk now with the rectangle tool. And we'll delete this bit here that sticks out with the eraser tool. Now we're going to open our paintbrush panel and select one of them. And with the paintbrush tool, we'll make some branches. Let's adjust the stroke of the branches. With the direct selection tool, we can click on the anchor points that we want to adjust individually. Now I'm going to select the other paintbrush and continue painting branches. So we have our first tree. We'll select the whole tree and go to Object, Expand Appearance, then Pathfinder Unite, and that way our tree is now one object. So we've expanded the paintbrushes and united. Now we'll fill it with the darker colour. And we'll make some copies to place on our poster. And we can adjust the size of those copies and also the opacity. I'm going to give this one, for example, 70%. I'll give this one a different hue and a 40% opacity, and I'm going to make 4 copies of it. Let's group all the trees together with Command G, or we could go to Object, Group, and we'll just delete this copy that's outside. Now let's move on to our second tree. We're going to make our second tree using only the paintbrushes, so let's open our paintbrush panel. We'll select the paintbrush tool and start drawing the trunk and the branches, adjusting as we go the width of the stroke. And there we go, another tree finished. Select it and go to Object, Expand Appearance, then Pathfinder Unite, and now our tree is a single object. So now we can start to build our design, playing with the colours and the opacity. I'm going to give this one 80%. We can also reflect, and we can arrange and send to back. I'll give this one 75%. I'll make a copy here and reflect it. So now let's select everything. While pressing Shift, click on the first trees we created to exclude them from the selection, and group. That way we have a group for our second set of trees. I'm going to send them to back. And now we're going to design our third tree. So with the rectangle tool, we'll make a trunk. We'll open our paintbrush panel, and with the paintbrush tool we'll start drawing leaves to make it into a pine tree. I'll make a triangle shape here at the top with the pen tool, and I'll fill it with black and remove the stroke. And now we have our third tree. Again, select everything, Object, Expand Appearance, and then Pathfinder Unite. We're going to put this tree on the lowest part of our poster. I'll just make it a little bit smaller. I'm going to fill it with our darker colour, and I'll change its opacity to 40%. Now I'll make some copies. Let's select everything and remove our 2 previous sets of trees and group with Command G. Using the Direct Selection tool, I can adjust the position of the trees. As you can see, I'm going for a central composition because I want to leave a space in the middle for some text. Okay, now we're going to make a clipping mask. We're going to make a rectangle using the rectangle tool, the same size as our artboard. With the selection tool, the black arrow, we'll select everything, then either with Command 7 or Object, Clipping Mask, Create, we'll make our mask. This way, the bits that were sticking out from the sides have now disappeared. With the selection tool, let's go to our Layers panel and unlock the background layer. We'll select the ground, cut it, pressing Command X, and place it in our silhouette layer, pressing Command F. That way, it will be pasted in the exact same place. Now let's lock our background layer again, and now we have all our tree silhouettes completed. So we've seen how to make trees using your own paintbrushes and also based on one of our own drawings. You could also use a photograph to create your trees using the same technique we used with the drawing, as long as in your photo the tree clearly stands out from the background. We'd have to open it in Photoshop, desaturate it, adjust the levels, and then make the silhouette. Now we're going to draw a bit of grass on the ground. We're going to lock our 2 layers and make a new layer that we'll call Grass. With the paintbrush tool, we'll open our paintbrush panel and we'll just start drawing. Select everything. I'm going to change the width of the stroke and make it a little bit thinner. Then expand appearance, and we'll fill it with the same colour as the ground. Our next step is to draw a silhouette of an animal. We can do this in the silhouette layer, which we need to unlock. For my deer, I'm using a reference photo from Freepik. I'll copy and paste on my document. I'm going to lock the layer, so I'll go to Object, Lock, Selection, and with the help of the photograph and the pencil tool, I'm going to make the outline. Now, with the pen tool, I'll draw the ears. I'm going to draw the antlers with one of the paintbrushes. I'll just touch up the strokes. Then we'll select all the paintbrush strokes and Object, Expand Appearance, and then Pathfinder, Unite. Then let's make a copy, pressing Alt and Shift, reflect it, and fill it with the same colour as the rest of the deer. Now in Object, I'll go to Unlock, so I can unlock the photograph, then I'll just delete it, and our silhouette is done. We'll select it and unite with the Pathfinder, and now it's ready to place on my design.